It's a beautiful view over there. If you see the sun and the beautiful city. Hi guys, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another video. And this video is going to be very helpful for new international students, and I'm not only talking about international students but also any student who likes to save money. We are going to talk about all the expenses which international students should avoid, all the money mistakes which international students should avoid. Now, whenever you come to United States, you have taken an education loan, or you don't want to see a big hole in a pocket of yours or your parents when you graduate or when you are studying. So in this video, I'm going to tell you all those mistakes which you should avoid, and this all will be from my experiences, and which I think that these are really important and you should focus on, because these mistakes you should not make, otherwise you can end up in a big financial hole. As you know that the key here is the information. If you have information from the beginning, then you will know that you should not commit this crime of spending a lot of money, or just try to avoid all this money conflicts whatever you can, because it's really important and it will be really challenging for you to pay off this money if you are not able to avoid these expenses. So this video is mainly focusing on how to save money and how to avoid money wastage as an international student, and also if you are a new local student, this will be really helpful. Knowing the details of financial transactions can decide whether you will end up in a financial crisis or not. This is really important, and we are going to discuss 5 ways or 5 things you should avoid in order to be financially independent and not end up in a financial crisis as an international student. So before any further ado, let's get started this video, and please enjoy the sunset which I'm going to show you right now. Now, the first thing, highly important, international transfers. Now, whenever you want to send money to the university, this is the most likely option that will be available is international transfers. And when you go to a bank, now how the bank works, like when you go through the bank, international transfer works in such a way that you will transfer your money to the university, but it will go through several different banks, and which will create more and more fees through the banks. Like suppose you might be thinking that your loan bank will send directly amount to the university, but that is not true. Your bank will send money to an intermediate bank, and intermediate will send the money to a US bank, and from US bank it might go to your university. So it's really important that you make sure that the transaction which is being done in your name and it's reaching university on time. You need to collect that data, you need to have that information when and what time it will be delivering, and all those complicated information which you should definitely have about wire transfer, because it is not as simple as you think that you will transfer from one bank and it will be going directly to the university. There are many banks interrelated, and you need to make sure that you are aware of that. And also, speaking of that, since this will cost you a lot of money, there is another service which is person to person service. If you are able to do that person to person service, then it will be more beneficial for you, it will be less costly, and it will be cheaper option for you than your bank transfer. There are many more websites, if you Google them, they will be able to give you that person to person service, and you will be able to find that direct money service. Or you can also use Western Union, like you can tell your parents to send you the money and you can pay directly to your university or something like that. Nerd Wallet has many websites which you can use, and this is highly important, because if you think you will be losing a lot of money, because if you are spending, suppose you are spending 50 Indian rupees for $1 transaction or $100 transaction for a bit, then you have to send like thousands upon thousands of dollars of fees to US university, and this is highly important. No matter what, you cannot avoid this. You have to do international transition. So make sure you are aware of person to person services and you opt for that if your bank transfer is getting more expensive. And if you have taken out a loan, then your bank loan will directly pay to your university if you have no other choice. Please keep this on your mind and you should be good to go. The second mistake to avoid is credit cards. Now what happens is when you're planning to come to United States, many international students I have met, they apply for credit cards in India which has a higher interest rate or which has a higher currency difference rate. Like suppose you are using your credit card in America, your Indian credit card, then what happens is they might charge you more for an international transaction. So you have to make sure that you are not paying more for something. Like suppose you buy a $5 sandwich and you are losing 50 cents every time you do some transaction. That can be really costly, like you are paying 50 cents more on a $5 thing. So make sure that you know about all your rates or all your transaction rates, that whatever is the lowest, you should do that and you should apply for that credit card. Credit cards are very useful when you have to do any financial transaction, but some of the students, as I said, they do not know this extra charge when you use it internationally, and that becomes a problem. So make sure you are aware of those international charges with your credit card company will charge you, as I gave you an example of $5. Another mistake which students do is they do not open the credit card account or they do not take any credit card from their home country, and they think that they will open an account or buy a credit card in United States. What happens is, in order to get a credit card in United States, you must have a social security number, and you can get a social security number if you have a job. For people who are coming internationally, it's not like you are born in United States and you are given a social security. So you have to have a job, you have to have an SSN, you have to be 21 years or old. So that is another mistake, that you might not be able to get a credit card. So please do not make this mistake. Now next is foreign exchange rates. Now what happened, like in 2016, it was Nigeria country, like student at US universities from Nigeria, they struggled to pay the tuition fees. Why? Because they thought that their expenses or whatever fees they are paying, it will be on exact amount, the currency rate would be exact, but that's not true. It fluctuates according to the bank, it fluctuates according to the market. So the dollar price as compared to Indian rupees might fluctuate, and especially you have to be very careful if you are coming from a weaker currency country like India or any other Asian country where the currency is not that powerful. So you have to make sure that you are aware of this exchange rates and you are aware of it daily. And if you're not tracking it daily, just make sure a month or 2 weeks before you have to pay your fees, so you are aware of all that transaction. Like in my case, like suppose there was fluctuation, right? And when I used to send money for my university from India, there were fluctuations. So I wait for 2 or 3 days and I get a cheaper rate and then I send it. What happens is you think that it's not a big difference, but if a dollar rises by 1 and you are sending $12,000, then you are losing a lot of money. So even if it raises by 10 rupees of $1, it makes a huge difference. So what happens is that when you look at all this standard exchange rate, you study that flow in few weeks, you'll be able to see and study the market, that okay, this way the price is going down, this way the price is going up. So when I also used to do that, and I used to wait for 2 or 3 days, because I knew that there is possibility of the dollar price going down as compared to rupees. So what happens is at the end, because you are spending a chunk of amount, like you are spending like $12,000 straight amount of fees, So what happens at the end of the day, you might be able to save like 4,000 or 5,000 rupees, and you can give a gift to your parents if it's that your money. Or if it's not, then your parents will be saving that 4,000 to 5,000 rupees, and that's definitely a lot of money if you're coming from a weaker country. So make sure you're aware of this all exchange rates, and you take your good step and pay your fees whenever you feel like it's going down. And make sure you do not have any conflicts in this exchange rate, and do not pay extra for what you don't need it. So you should always plan for an extra money. You should be always reserved for spending some extra money, and do not overspend at all, and try to compensate and try to study the market before sending, and that will be your best option while you are spending that or sending the money to United States. Now the fourth thing is local prices. Now in India, what we do is we eat out, and it's not that expensive to eat out. So what happens is we have a habit, like once in a week or twice in a week, we just go out and eat with friends, or you're sick of your home food. But believe me, in United States, it's really different. It's very expensive. Plus you have to pay tip, which is around 15%. So if you are not planning on spending a lot of money, you should probably end up cooking, and you should do like what locals do. They go to groceries, they buy their food. And I understand in countries like India, you are used to having like spoon feeding, mom cooks for you, blah blah blah. But in United States, you have to learn, and you might not be proficient in cooking, but as you will figure out things, you will be cooking 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 10 time, 1,000 time, and you will be getting better and better. So eating out should be only luxury, especially when you are a student, because if you are trying to save money, this would be the worst case of eating out, because it's not cheap. Plus you have to pay tax on top of tipping in the restaurants, and even if you do takeouts, you still have to pay that delivery fees or an extra additional tax. So it's really important to understand the locals and follow the locals in this, that they go to the grocery store, they bring it, and you budget yourself. You see where is money flowing, you budget it, because saving money should be your priority as an international student, especially when you're paying such amount of fees just to get your degree from United States. And it's really important that you understand this and you do not overspend it. Please make sure that you eat at home and you cook like locals. And if you don't know, go to your friend's house, explore new cultures, explore that food, or you can make something for them. If you go into a friend zone too, on weekends or once a month or whenever it's planned out, it's fine to eat out. But if you want to save money, just make sure that you go to your friends and cook food or explore their culture food, and just get together and cook food. It's fun and you will learn a lot of things. So make sure you are aware of this and you do not spend extra money, and avoid this money mistake if possible. Last mistake to avoid is on books. Now in India, we used to purchase books, whether it's like brand new or second hand, and we used to purchase all the books and digest whatever it might be from the bookstore and or the college or university if they were providing. But if you do the same in United States, that is costly, that is expensive. And especially right now, if you can get the second-hand book from your seniors, you can purchase them, or they can just get it to you. Or the best option is internet. While we were studying, well, I was doing my master's, I have not purchased a single book, because all the materials were available online, and we had computers. From computer I was studying. So that's the best option. The books you should not buy brand new, because after one semester you will study for 4 months, 6 months, and that book is just gone. And the book might be of $50, $60. So if you have like 10 books, it ends up to 500 to 600 grands in your expenses, and then that you should definitely avoid. You can print pages from your university libraries. They give you certain amount of pages which you can print if you want a book version, but the best thing would be to buy it from a senior or get it in a cheaper price, but never go for a brand new book, because that's useless. And I mean, you can study them further, but internet is such a reliable source. You can download it anytime, you can save it, and the most important thing, your university library will have access to ebooks, which will be, you want any of the books and you'll be able to get it. So never waste your money on brand new books. Try to get it second handed or try to get it online and study, and it will save you a lot of money. So that's all for this video, guys. I hope you got some information on how to avoid the money mistake which I just told you. These all are very important points. I am telling you from my experience. It's anything about books, international transfers. You get your experience and you just pass it on to others. That's what I'm trying to do. That if you are new to this country, or if you are a new student, as well as if you are planning to come here, please take all this money savings tips, because it's really important for an international students when you're planning to spend thousands of dollars in your education. Then if you are able to save all this money, it will make your life a little bit easier. So I hope you got some information and you got something out of it. I will see you in the next video, and take care till then, and thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.